too.
I'm prepping the stage here. So we're talking a little bit about chemistry and why, as a consumer, right, you consume all sorts of things that are sciencey and technology-based. It's important to know a little bit about what they're actually selling you. So we're going to be talking today about hydrogen peroxide. It's kind of an everyday chemical. You can find it in lots of places. At low percentages, I should say, there's no such thing as a bad chemical. Okay, there's no such thing as a good or a bad chemical. There are different concentrations of chemicals. Okay, so like water, too little, you die, right? But too much, you drown, right? Or actually, you can consume too much and actually die from drinking too much water.
Wow.
So for every chemical, there's a happy medium. All right, so that's kind of what we're talking about. If some people say that chemicals are good or bad, that's no. Unless you say a concentration with that, you're kind of making things up. So hydrogen peroxide in a low amount, use it for whitening your teeth, for like bleaching your hair, right? It's totally normal, not really that harmful. At a medium amount, right? So low amounts like 2 to 10%. Okay, so that's what you find in your house. At like 10 to 30, use it to disinfect cuts, right? Get rid of bacteria if you have like a big paper cut or something like that. And then at super high quantities, it is a rocket fuel. That's actually one of the worst rocket fuels out there, called hydrazine. It's extremely toxic, and it's been used for years, but yes, it explodes. So if you use that for your hair will catch on fire. We have here some concoctions, right? This is basically just some of that low concentration hydrogen peroxide we were talking about in a bottle with some soap. So what I was doing before the cameras popped up is we were taking about half a cup here of this low percentage hydrogen peroxide. We're putting one in each of these bottles. Okay, so that's about a half cup there. Now notice not a whole lot's happening, right? It's just sitting by itself, all nice and happy. Hydrogen peroxide does react to sunlight, so that's why all the bottles are opaque. Let's see, where's our soap? Aha! Yes, we're supposed to measure a teaspoon of soap, but this is science, so we're just going to kind of eyeball it, and I think that's about good there. Okay, so this is an experiment called hydrogen toothpaste. Okay, so peroxide basically has an extra oxygen molecule. What we're going to do is we're going to shake these up here. Oh, maybe I blocked the test tube. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. There's yours. Okay, so we have what is yeast, essentially a little bacteria. He's sitting on top of some water in there, if I can break it free. So the yeast is mixed in with the water. There's yours.
Thank you.
Hydrogen peroxide, obviously when it bubbles on your skin for a paper cut, it's kind of reacting to the bacteria. Okay, so the bacteria is kind of a catalyst in this sense, right? So we have soap, hydrogen peroxide, and then we're going to dump in our catalyst. But to make this exciting, we each have some food colors here. So I think you have one down there. If you want to grab that. Why don't you do, what's that, like a yellow?
Yellow.
I'll try a red here. And so
Maybe
just
Una
put,
can make a color.
yeah, so
Yeah,
just
I'm
throw
gonna try
some
purple. Mix
throw
with
some
purple.
drops in there. And let's make sure it's nice and colorful, like 8 drops or so. There you go.
With yellow, I
Go
feel
ahead.
like I might need a little bit more, right?
Yeah, probably. More is always better in science.
The more the
Okay.
merrier, right?
And this is going to be really interesting because it's been sitting here for a little bit. We might have quite a reaction on our hands. Okay, you almost set? So we can do it 2 different ways, right? So I'm going to put that there. You guys have a steady hand?
Sure.
Okay, so let's unscrew these. On the count of 3, you two are just going to try to dump that into your bottle, and then I'll try to get mine right after you get yours. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. So this is called elephant toothpaste, because that's kind of what it looks like. It's a little Colgate for your rhinoceros friend down at the zoo. But yeah, so this is basically the hydrogen peroxide reacting with the yeast that we dumped in there. It's causing the extra oxygen to bubble out, which is then being captured by all the soap suds.
So this is our pachyderm dentifrice. I can't even say it once.
Pachyderm dentrophy? Dentifrice. There we go.
Dentifrice?
Dentifrice.
That sounds,
Pachyderm
dentifrice.
dentifrice.
That sounds pretty
There
close
we
to
go.
accurate.
There
I
we
think.
go.
Yes.
Science.
Now I've got to ask, is it edible?
Can I brush my
would
teeth
not
with it?
try it. I think that is a figurative toothpaste, not a literal toothpaste. But it should also say that this is also exothermic, so if you put your hand over it, you can feel some heat coming off of it,
Oh, yes.
right? So it's also creating the oxygen and the heat, and then the foam is just catching all of that. So not quite rocket fuel, but you multiply that by 1,000,
Still cool.
and that's what you get, right? That's shooting out of a rocket, and that's some of the first spaceships use that.
Perfect. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, we've got a nice array of colors.
And it continues
We've got the
giving.
primary colors.
Yeah, it
going.
does.
keeps
It just
going.
keeps going.
So I should tell you, because we're in a kind of low ceiling studio, we were warned against using the extreme version because you can watch some videos online where they got a little too ambitious and boom, it hit the ceiling when it came out. So we were trying to avoid that.
Cool.
I think we managed.
All right, well, we are out of time for today, so let's have our resident nerds come on up.
And geek.
yeah.
Why don't we have Matt come up here too?
Yeah,
Matt, come on.
We got them all.
all of our favorite friends.
Well,
And our floating head.
yeah, our floating head. All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, from all of us here at Nerd Necessities Network, adios.